How long have you been homeless?
Actually, for about 1 year.
And what was going on before you were homeless, and how did you wind up here?
That's kind of I had an apartment, and finally, after 4 years, I decided to move on, and so I left my apartment. And I knew people that were homeless, and I started talking with them and hanging with them. Well, in the middle of turning around and then trying to find another place to live, an apartment, I fell into this disease thing that kind of swept over, I thought, just Spokane, but the whole nation, and it put everything on hold for me. And I didn't realize it put a lot of people on hold. And so I had no place to stay. I'm on Social Security, so I'm on a set income. And that barely lasted me to get through the stepping stones of day to day. And so I got into a shelter, and I tell you, I didn't realize how many people out there were homeless. I've seen magazines on it, I've seen documentaries, I guess, but to witness it, it's a whole different story. And if you would have told me some years ago you're going to be homeless, I would have laughed in their face. I'm not laughing now. But it's a way that people survive, and then there's good people out there and there's bad people out there. But that's in life general. But to be homeless, you have nothing except for what you're carrying on your back in a backpack, and that's everything you own. And I went from a fully furnished apartment to everything from down to nothing. And what I don't understand is why people would steal from somebody that don't have anything. And I got caught in the middle, and now I'm trying to work my way out. And it's people like you that turn around and say, okay, there's a whole different side of homeless that you can't read about or see on TV. And hopefully I can help a little bit and tell a little bit of my story.
Dennis, you've obviously got some miles behind you. You've only been homeless for about a year. What was going on in your life before that?
Oh, I had an apartment. I retired my small business, and I thought that I'd just keep moving forward. And then being in the plating business, brass, nickel, copper, chrome, I wore a mask around my neck and not my mouth and nose. And therefore, breathing all those metals got into my lungs, and that's what got me on Social Security. I use this, I live by this. And to walk around and then grasp every breath is it's something you do or you don't want to experience. But with the places like the shelter next door, they've got opening hands to help you out, and I think that's pretty outrageous. And there's some people that abuse it, and there's some people that say, whoa, this is fantastic. And I'm one of those, whoa, this is fantastic, because it's helped me along the way. And every day I learn something. Some small things, some big things, but every day is, believe it or not, an adventure. And it's a blessing to be here.
Everyone is aware, for the most part, that there are a lot of drugs and alcohol in the street homeless community for a variety of reasons. There's no one reason that causes all of that. What's been your experience?
There's certain people that get into the alcohol, certain people that get into the drugs, and it more or less runs their life. But that goes on anywhere in the world, not just homeless. But the homeless, it's hard to explain unless you witness it. And what I want is an apartment with my facilities back, and that it was a privilege that I didn't know I had, and I walked away from. But you can't bring up the past and redo it, so you got to go with the flow. And actually I'm bouncing back, and one bit at a time.
So is Dennis hopeful?
Yes, you have to be. You got to keep an open mind, and you got to keep a kind heart, and And you got to learn to say yes and no, and know which one to say, and walk away gracefully, or meet somebody like me meeting you. It was a privilege, and I think that's pretty awesome. Thank you on that.
Anything else you'd like to say about your journey?
It's not over yet. Every day's an adventure. But yeah, every day is an adventure. When I wake up in the morning, I may write down 5 or 6, 7, 8 things to do. I'm lucky if I get one of them done. But that's an accomplishment. Yeah.
What gives you hope? Why are you hopeful? I'm just curious.
You gotta have hope. You couldn't live in just a no world. Out of every no, there's a yes. And it's like, I'm here for a reason. I do not know why yet. You know, it's, we're all here for a reason. There's almost 7 billion people in the world, and there's not 2 alike. They may look alike, but they don't. And that's a miracle in itself. You know, it's, if I didn't have God in here, I'd be a nutcase. You know? So yeah, He's the one that's helping me through this.